Capriles, his election challenger, is still demanding a recount.
Because I believe they haven't wanted to read Sunday's results. There isn't a majority in the country. There are two sides.
This is not the divine inspiration Hugo Chavez had hoped to give Venezuela. More than a month after his death, those at his shrine still pledged devotion. But to his successor, I think a lot of people don't know Maduro, so they didn't vote for him, she says. But here we are. It was very close. Chavismo, Chavez's brand of socialism, is losing steam. So even here in El 23, one of the most loyal neighborhoods to Hugo Chavez, you can understand why some people will have turned their backs on Chavismo, on Nicolas Maduro, and why it's because of the economy. A currency crisis and record inflation expected to reach about 30% a year means shortages are everywhere. This sign says only 4 baguettes per person. There won't be more flour until the end of the month. The owner of this bakery has allowed us inside, and he's trying to show us that, look, he's saying that the bakery store shelves here are not as full as they should be, that normally they would be full to the rafters. He also says he is down to his last 3 bags of flour, and this has never happened to him before. Now, despite this, he says he can't talk about this on camera because he is afraid of the consequences. From the bakery to the street, there is fear about where all this is going. The Chavista government is ordering protesters off the streets. The election is over. We won, they say. And the opposition is running out of ways to prove them wrong. Paul Newton, CNN, Caracas.
Well, over to the UK, police in London say more than 4,000 members of the force were on duty for Margaret Thatcher's funeral. And while a strong police presence was planned, the bombings in Boston on Monday has heightened attention on security even further, especially with the list of high-level guests that attended Lady Thatcher's funeral in London. In life and now in death, Baroness Thatcher remains divisive as guests gather for her funeral. Protesters held their own demonstrations against the Iron Lady. CNN Stan Rivers has more in this report.
Took place, or the protest, but it was very, very small. I'd say a couple of hundred people at most. They turned their back, some of them, on the coffin as it went past, and there are shouts of what a waste of money every time any of the military paraded past, and indeed for the coffin as well, and some booing as well. But apart from that, it was peaceful. There were no arrests, there was no clashes with the police as had been feared, and certainly nothing that interrupted the solemnity of the procession or anything. So I think the police would consider this a big success. They allowed them to make their point. Their point was that her political legacy was extremely divisive. Many people felt that she did more harm than good. Of course, a lot of people would disagree with that view, but that was what they wanted to get across here, and they felt that they could do that by turning the coffin, something that many other people in Britain will have found rather distasteful and some even offensive. But certainly in terms of violence, there was none. And of course, in light of what happened in Boston on Monday, there were extra concerns, not just for political protesters, but of course that this could be perceived as a terrorist target as well.
Well, we now take our second break. We'll be right back.
Discover the smiling coast of Africa.
Well, we now shift our attention to sports with one of our correspondents, Fatou Jassi. Fatou?
Thank you very much, Aji Ami. Bakau Lower Basic School is the Gambia Golf Academy. Ibrahim Major, president of the GGA, tells staff and pupils of the school on the day members of the association and sports officials gathered to commission the first golf nets. Abubakar Sengo attended that event and he reports kids in the school are thrilled by the development.
In hand, ready to have a first taste of a game on the rise in the Gambia. Young Nabil Jai, a 6th grader at Bakalo Basic School, and colleagues are among the pioneer batch of the Gambia Golf Association launched Golf Academy. It is golf coming home to the comfort zone where learning the trade can be easier, more cost-effective, and conducted in a more conducive environment. The school, perched on a neighborhood renowned for its admirable production line of quality golfers, will now provide an institutional framework for the development of golf in the Gambia.
Just having this initiative here immediately will boost the morale of the children. I mean, they will boast to any school in the Gambia that they are the Gambia Golf Academy, because today Newtown Basic School, Lower Basic School, is the Golf Academy of the Gambia.
To help groom the next golf stars, the Gambia Golf Association is employing the services of 3 of its most experienced golfers. JJ Jata, a veteran of the game, leads the team, helping the next generation of golfers hone their skills at the school.
First, we need to teach them about the rules, because you cannot play any golf sport without rules. Rules guide them a lot. Apart from that, then we used to also try to motivate them more, show them how to play golf.
There was excitement, Gallo, as the trainers put first-timers through their paces, hitting straight into the net with passion.
Just to hit the ball very hardly, from here, from the driving range. Then when we get into the golf course, it's going to be very, very easy. Because as Omar said, in Europe, you must go to the driving range for 6 months before involving yourself into the proper golf field.
How hard is it putting this thing together? It's so impressive.
It's something that, okay, now it's not that hard, but before it come together, it was very hard because you have to think about it. I watch it at the golf book, and I have to practice over and over and then put it together. But otherwise, it's okay.
As for young Nabil, the excitement of adding another sporting game into his many leisure activities is thrilling and a moment of personal triumph.
I want to urge the Gambia Golf Association to continue giving us much needed training to become great golfers and be counted as one of the great sportsmen or women of the Gambia or even the world.
The pilot project is set to enhance the popularity of a game that is on the ascendancy in the country, and as the backup project kicks off, members of the GGA are pursuing to replicate similar projects in other schools. For GRTS Sports is Babukar Sengon.
Well, Aji, golf is not a very popular sport in the Gambia. Do you play golf?
I'm a very good golfer. You can't even imagine.
All right, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ed. From sports, a reminder of our top stories before we go. The National Assembly has passed the National Enterprise Development Initiative Bill 2013 and a host of legal instruments touching on various aspects of development. Medical Research Council and the community of Sukuta have been commemorating the 10th anniversary of a partnership credited with advances in the area of medical research. Supporters of the defeated Venezuelan presidential aspirant Enrique Capriles have been clashing with police in the capital Caracas, and U.S. law enforcement agents have made a broad appeal for help to advance the probe into the Boston Marathon bombings that claimed at least 3 lives. Well, that's your 8 p.m. bulletin. Thanks for the pleasure of your company, and join us at 2200 hours for another newscast.
Hi there, this is Sports Tonight coming to you from GRTS. It's your weekly sports show that looks at some of the main stories making the headlines in the world of sports. With me, Fatou Jassi and
Famara Fofana.
And in tonight's edition, a look back at last weekend's much talked about GFA Adaptive Congress held at the French